Conversation between a mother and a daughter. Let's learn.
Mom, can we talk about Dad's birthday? I think we should do something special.
I was thinking the same thing. It's a big milestone. What do you have in mind?
I was thinking a surprise party. We could invite all his friends and family. He'd never expect it.
That's a fantastic idea. He would be absolutely thrilled. We should start planning right away. First, the guest list.
I'll text Aunt Linda and Uncle Joe. Oh, and Dad's old college buddies. He always talks about them.
Good call. And what about the theme? Does anything come to mind?
Dad loves the 80s, right? We could do an 80s themed party. Everyone could wear retro outfits.
That's perfect. Your dad still has that old leather jacket in the closet.
That will be fun.
Indeed, honey. And you know our retro decor will do wonders.
But where to start, Mom? Just give me some hint.
We can deck out the place with posters of his favorite bands from that era. Maybe some classic movie posters too?
Great idea. And we can't forget the lighting. How about some disco balls and neon lights? I'm sure it'll feel like we're back in the 80s.
Great thinking. We could also make a playlist of all the hit songs from the 80s. He'd love to hear those old tunes again.
Oh, and we can have a photo booth with 80s props like sunglasses and those big hair wigs. It'll be so fun.
Yes. And for activities, maybe we can have a dance-off or a trivia quiz about the 80s. Your dad would be in his element.
This is shaping up to be the best birthday bash ever. Dad's going to be so surprised and happy.
Definitely, he'll love it. But where should we plan it? Don't you think our backyard is not spacious enough?
Yes, Mom. What about renting the old community hall downtown? It's got enough space. Dad always talks about the concerts he saw there.
That's a brilliant idea. It has that vintage feel which would go perfectly with the 80s theme. Plus, it's got that stage where we could set up the band or DJ.
And there's plenty of room for dancing. We could decorate it with those colorful streamers and balloons to give it a real 80s vibe.
Exactly. We should also consider the logistics. Like parking and accessibility for our guests.
Right, I didn't think about that. I can't wait to see the look on his face when he walks in. It's going to be priceless.
Absolutely. Let's talk invitations. They're crucial since they set the tone for the whole party. Any thoughts on how we should do them?
What if we make them look like old concert tickets? You know, to keep up with the 80s theme. We could use bright colors and bold fonts.
That's a fantastic idea. How should we distribute them?
We could go digital and send them by email. But I think physical invitations would be more in line with our theme. Plus, it's something memorable they can keep.
True, there's something special about holding an actual invitation. We can hand them out to family and close friends. But for Dad's old buddies who live far away, maybe we can mail them?
Yeah, mailing them would be a nice touch. It's more personal. And for those who are tech-savvy, maybe we can create an online version as a backup.
A good balance. We can also add a little note inside, asking guests to dress in 80s attire to really get into the spirit of the theme.
Oh, and maybe we can add a little teaser about the activities or the music in the invitation. Something like, get ready to rock like it's 1989.
I love that. It gives them a hint of what to expect.
Sounds good. I can help design the invitations. I've been learning some graphic design at school, and this could be a fun project.
That's wonderful. It'll add a personal touch, which your dad will appreciate. Let's sit down together this weekend and start working on them.
It's a plan.
Exactly. This is turning out to be quite the exciting project. Honey, how can we skip the menu?
Oh, really?
Since it's an 80s theme, we should pick out foods that were popular back then. Any ideas?
Well, Dad always mentions how much he loved those mini quiches at parties. And weren't deviled eggs a big hit back in the day?
Absolutely, those are classics. We should also think about some main dishes. Maybe something like meatloaf or chicken Kiev? They were pretty popular in the 80s.
Good idea. And for sides, how about a pasta salad and some retro jello salads? I read they were all the rage back then.
Jello salads, definitely. We should also have some finger foods, like cocktail sausages and cheese and pineapple on sticks. Easy to eat while mingling.
Oh, and let's not forget the desserts. Maybe a baked Alaska. Or we could do a twist on the classic trifle.
For drinks, we should have some classic sodas in glass bottles. And maybe a punch bowl? We can make a non-alcoholic punch for the kids and another version for the adults.
That's thoughtful. And we can't forget coffee and tea for the older guests. Maybe set up a small station where they can help themselves?
Great idea. Now, regarding the cake, we were thinking of a guitar-shaped one, right? Should we stick with a traditional flavor, or go for something more adventurous?
I think we should keep the cake simple. Maybe a classic chocolate or vanilla. We don't want to risk Dad not liking it.
True, better safe than sorry. Let's do a chocolate cake, that's always been his favorite. We'll need to find a good bakery that can do the guitar shape.
I'll look into some bakeries around and see who can do it. This menu is coming together really well. It's going to be like a culinary blast from the past.
Absolutely. We're balancing the theme with what we know Dad likes. Now, the trickiest part of all, keeping this a surprise. Your dad's quite sharp, and we need to be really careful not to let anything slip.
Yeah, we have to be super sneaky. Maybe we can come up with a cover story for why we're busy or why we need the community hall.
Good thinking. Let's say we're helping Aunt Linda with a charity event. That way, if he sees any decorations or party supplies, it won't raise any suspicions.
That's smart. And we should make sure everyone involved knows it's a surprise. We don't want anyone accidentally mentioning it to Dad.
Absolutely. I'll remind everyone when I send out the invitations. We can also use code words when discussing the party around the house.
Like calling it the event or something. And we should probably keep all the supplies and decorations hidden in the garage or at Aunt Linda's house.
Yes, let's store everything at Linda's. She has extra space, and your dad rarely goes there. For the shopping trips, we might have to be a bit more creative.
I can say I'm hanging out with friends or working on a school project if I need to go out for party stuff. That should throw him off the scent.
And I'll coordinate with your dad's friends and colleagues to make sure he's free on the day without making him suspicious. Maybe they can plan a fake outing that gets cancelled at the last minute.
That's genius, Mom. This is like a top-secret mission. Dad won't know what hit him.
It sure is. But remember, we have to act normal and not let our excitement show too much. It's going to be hard, but we can do it.
Absolutely, Mum's the word. This surprise party is going to be epic. I can't wait to see the look on Dad's face.
It's going to be a moment to remember. Let's get started on our secret mission. Operation Surprise Party is a go.